What's up, everybody? Noah back here for a bit of a throwback review video along with another one. This got me ready for the new Netflix rom-com starring Addison Rae, Matthew Lillard, and Rachel Lee Cook. It's the remake to She's All That, so it's called He's All That. She's All That is the one we're talking about right now. She's All That is all about Freddie Prinze Jr., who is dumped by his very popular girlfriend in high school, and he is dared by his friend Paul Walker, his friend who was played by Paul Walker in the movie, to find the most down-on-her-luck, nerdy girl that he can turn into the prom queen. If he doesn't, then he doesn't. The movie is said to be a classic. Now, this is coming from somebody who did not grow up with this movie. This came out in 1999. I was born in 1998. This movie was not even a year old yet when, it wasn't even, I wasn't even a year old yet when this movie came out. She's All That is not a bad movie, okay? But it's not a great movie. I think it's just good. She's All That is nothing special, but there is legitimate chemistry between Freddie Prinze Jr. and Rachel Lee Cook. I love Rachel Lee Cook because I grew up with her on the Hallmark Channel. I didn't grow up with her in the teen romance movies or the comedies or horror or whatever she's done. I grew up with her on Hallmark. And by grew up with her, I mean that's the only things that I've really seen her in, really. And seeing her in this, I want to go back and look at her older work because she's always been a good actress. Freddie Prinze Jr. is a very charming dude. I mean, he's an actor that you're just like, how do you exist? You're so good looking, but yet you make some movies that are not the greatest. Now, that's not saying I don't enjoy some, because I am a fan of Scooby-Doo. Not so much Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. I did really enjoy Summer Catch, though. That was a really good baseball romance movie. And I'm really looking forward to seeing his movie. I believe it's called Shooting Gallery. Pool Hall Gallery. I want to say it's Shooting Gallery. That's a pool movie that I'm looking forward to watching very, very soon, along with another pool movie called Pool Hall Junkies. Looking forward to that one. That one's an HBO original. She's All That is a movie that does the same thing that many other movies have done, taking a down-on-her-luck girl and making her all of a sudden attractive. However, the problem is it's Rachel Lee Cook. They did the same thing in He's All That, but I'll get into that in just a few minutes. She's All That does the cliched rom-com formula for big budget Hollywood movies that does not work. The movie's script is not that well written, but it's not awful either. It's just a movie that I think is one you grew up with. If you like it, that's great. I personally didn't care for it. There's nothing wrong technically with it, like the cinematography, editing, lighting. There's nothing all out bad about that either. It's just pretty standard. But what makes no sense, and what I really dislike about the film, is the predictability of it. And for someone who watches Hallmark movies, those are very predictable. Those are extremely predictable. But when you can do it beat for beat for beat, and you're not enjoying yourself, and there's not a lot of charm to it, and I really don't care for the attractive girl is all of a sudden the nerd, or the unattractive person and she just wears a dress and she's attractive now. Whoop-de-doo. She's All That is a alright rom-com that I don't think I'm ever going to watch again. But is it better than Boys and Girls? I will get into that in just a minute. But I'm going to give She's All That a B-. I didn't say I didn't like it, but I really do like the movie. There's just a lot of things that I didn't care for. Mainly with the beginning and how this would not actually happen. In an actual event, you would lose the girl. She would never talk to you again. And the feelings would be gone. Freddie Prinze Jr. could have gotten any girl he wanted, as a matter of fact. But I did like seeing Paul Walker in another movie that I didn't even know he was in. It was a nice surprise with Varsity Blues. I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can discover him in next. But let's talk about Boys and Girls, and then he's all that. So I will see all of you guys next time.